Imagine this, it's your first year of college, you've just located your dorm room, and you're about to meet your roommate. You introduce yourself and get acquainted with your newfound friend for the first semester. Your first week of classes go by and you start to begin to feel like you're coming down with something. You treat it as a common cold, thinking it will just pass. Things do not get any better and you're soon admitted into the hospital. The doctor asks about your history, symptoms, and the duration. The doctor comes across your vaccination history and shows no recent vaccinations. They perform several tests for possible causes. He later comes back with the results and lets you know you have meningitis. If this sounds all too familiar and you don't get vaccinations, then you can be putting yourself at risk. According to the Alliance for Aging Research, vaccines have protected millions of Americans from deadly infectious diseases. Growing up, I never had the option to get vaccines. It was something that we were forced to do. Before the birth of my daughter, I was given vital information on things such as aftercare, postpartum, and whether I wanted my daughter to get the routine vaccinations. In making sure my daughter had the proper preventions, I did research and decided to make sure she had her vaccinations. Today, let's discuss the importance and purpose of vaccinations. With the growing population, diseases are spreading at a rapid rate. Vaccinations are more necessary than ever. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention states that without the total elimination of diseases, immunization is the only protection. Vaccinations are important because they prevent diseases and infections. They save countless lives that we may not necessarily take notice to. If vaccinations are not enforced, it can lead to an outbreak of various diseases. Many of these can result in hospitalization and even death in severe cases. The plan to enforce all vaccinations when one enters the education system, whether they are homeschooled or public school, would be enforced in the United States. Currently, the education system requires to have minimum vaccinations, but not all. We will begin with keeping up to date with your doctor on necessary vaccinations. It will be necessary to follow up at least twice a year. With everyone having the most up-to-date vaccinations, it will decrease the amount of diseases. It can prevent kids and adults to not miss much of school or work, allowing more time to enjoy life. With the result of everyone being vaccinated, it will provide you with the ability to not be stuck inside sick and enjoy time with others. This can also help with your financials, since it's cheaper to prevent disease rather than to treat it. Without vaccine Without vaccines, outbreaks would be a common cause of death. According to the history of vaccines, in 1984, Vermont had an outbreak of polio. This caused 18 deaths and 132 cases of permanent paralysis. The beneficial side of vaccines is that you do not have to go through the process of fighting off the disease to build your immune system. According to the National Institution of Allergy and Infectious Disease, vaccines provide artificially acquired immunity. Effects such as an allergic reaction, fail to work, asphyxiation, and sometimes death is some things to consider in the decision. Today we can begin to make a difference by making sure we are all up to date on our vaccinations. I'll leave you with this decision in which you choose to get vaccinated or not. The best way to make an impact is to educate yourself on the importance and to regularly visit your doctor. The next time you're at the doctor's office, remember to check for the recommended vaccination.